Yeah, Tuesday night, lights low, sparks fly. War report after dark, better fall in line. From WWE to TNA, AU to Spark. Vince the Prince from the Northeast set it off in the dark. OG Steve led the charge. Cat Al, Eric Us, 9 p.m. Eastern. Acknowledge the ring, acknowledge us.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the War Report After Dark. Boy, do we have a lot to break down between the Elimination Chamber, our reactions and feelings on what's shaping now for WrestleMania, and of course Monday Night Raw. Vince is going to be a little behind, but he'll be joining us shortly. Al, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. Can't wait to, talk about the mixed feelings and the good and the bads of the show.
So, I'm glad you actually said it like that. So, I want to tell you what I did like about the Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
So, here's what I did like. I absolutely loved how when CM Punk was coming out, they did the old Chicago Bulls intro because they were in Chicago, and they had the same announcer. I forget his name. But do that whole thing before he came out. I thought that was epic. That was awesome. Even though they were in Chicago, and even though CM Punk is CM Punk, right? I honestly, and I've gone back just to check myself, I honestly think that Trick Williams got the loudest pop of the night. By far. Even over CM Punk.
Before you continue, I agree with you, and the guy's name is Neil Funk.
Neil Funk, there you go.
Neil Funk.
He's
and
awesome. I'm so glad.
Trick fucking Williams is the man.
Right? You talk about aura?
He's the chosen one.
Unbelievable. There is no way they can book him as a heel going forward. They can't. They can't.
You know what he reminds me of? Honestly? He reminds me of if Shinsuke Nakamura, we liked them back in the day when we all used to sing along with a song. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those. It's like we love Shinsuke until he goes and I guess we got to root for him. Trick is like we love everything about Trick.
I mean, it really is the presentation, the lemon pepper steppers, the fact that he can cut promos, he can do it in the ring. He organically got whooped that Trick over with the crowd. I mean, it all works.
His lighting, dude, his fucking lighting is amazing when he comes out.
Yeah,
the way
all white.
they just make it all white at a point when the beat drops. Oh, that's fucking insane.
It's incredible. It's incredible. He is unbelievable. So to me, I thought that was pretty interesting because when you're in Chicago, you're just automatically assuming. And listen, that might also just be the way it came across on TV. Maybe if somebody was there in person, maybe maybe they feel differently and that the pop was louder. That's always possible. But the way it came across on TV, that Trick Williams definitely got the biggest pop of the night.
I agree.
Jose Carlos over at YouTube says hi. How you doing? Welcome.
What's up, Jose?
But yeah, so those are some things I did like. I also, I thought comparatively, the women's chamber was better than the men's, and we'll go into that. Overall, I didn't think the chamber matches, either of them were oh my God. But I guess how much can you actually do in a chamber? There were some great spots and some great moments and stuff. And so I think, overall, I think the pay-per-view was great. I think AJ winning, I honestly did not think she was going to win. But I am glad that she won. I thought it was a good match. I don't think it was great. I thought it was a good match. I liked all the workings with Carr and Becky Lynch and that whole dynamic. And then ultimately AJ winning in Chicago. So I like that. I want to talk about Danhausen. So here's my take on Danhausen. I happen to be a fan of Danhausen. I think Danhausen is hilarious. I think he's going to bring a lot of entertainment. He's going to be like a R-Truth type of deal, I think, for WWE. I think that was the wrong time, maybe. But I think he's from Chicago, so it would make sense that, okay, you have him debut in Chicago. The crowd obviously was not happy about it. They booed him out of the building.
I don't even know if it's the timing. I think if he would have came out in Chicago, if he's from Chicago, or if he isn't, for Chicago, I would consider them one of those cities that is woke when it comes to wrestling. Like, they know the underground pretty well, the indies or whatnot. They're diverse. He probably would have got a great pop. The fact that you put him in a box for 3 weeks and you're trying to make this huge ordeal, like, people are going crazy over this box. Is it fucking Jericho? Is it who knows? You know, like, who could it be?
Right.
Danhausen?
So, well, and if you go back and listen to it, when Danhausen first comes out, he actually gets a pop. And then it just automatically turns to boos because I think people really wanted it to be Jericho or The Rock or, you know, I heard somebody somewhere thought it would be great if Vince McMahon walked out. Like, Jericho wouldn't come out of a box.
No.
You know what I mean? So I didn't think it would be Jericho. Obviously, Vince McMahon is just ridiculous. So Danhausen, I kind of assumed because I heard rumors. I just think that debut sucked, but I thought he was great on Raw, and he put a curse on Dom, which now Dominic's going to say that he lost the title because he was cursed. So Danhausen is going to, like, if you're not familiar with him, go look up some of. He's hilarious. And he actually can wrestle a little bit. So it'll be fun. I like Danhausen. I just think it was the wrong time to debut him and to do it with this whole box reveal, I think was a mistake. So that was disappointing. But anytime they have one of these things, you kind of assume it's going to be disappointing. It always is. Like, I think back to the gobbledygooker who came out of a fucking egg. Like, you know, I had Survivor Series. It's just, it's hokey.
I don't remember how old that was back then, but even back then, I thought that was corny in the back. Like, I thought I was like, what? What is this?
It was so dumb. It was so dumb, and it was so much anticipation week after week after week. It would crack a little more and a little more. The whole thing was stupid. So, but I do like Danhausen coming. I think he's going to bring something fun. You just got to give him a chance, but he's just absolutely hilarious. So Elimination Chamber, I thought the women's chamber match I thought was good. I guess I did kind of figure Rhea Ripley would win, especially after them losing the tag titles on SmackDown. But part of me was really, I guess, rooting for Stratton. Although, not that I'm upset to see Rhea versus Jade for the women's title at Mania. I think that's going to be great.
Call me crazy. I wanted Raquel to win, man. She had a great showing.
She had a great showing. She had a really good showing.
Bomb or whatever that, like, what was it, like the double pin?
Yeah.
The power bomb thing, that was a great. Yeah, I thought she had a great showing.
Yeah, she did a great job. Kiana James did a great job. She's impressing me week after week, too, now that she's actually getting in the ring.
Week after week. I think she hasn't had a bad match since I've seen her in the ring since, the Royal Rumble, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Royal Rumble.
AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch again. I was surprised. I thought the rematch would be at Mania where AJ would win. But now I'm sure they're just going to set it up for a rematch at Mania with Becky Lynch. Because I can't imagine, even after AJ's promo, that this is over with Becky Lynch. Especially because she's claiming that Carr screwed her again. The referee.
Yeah, which is what I mentioned, I think, a few weeks back that I said she'll take it at home because you were like, no, they never win at home. And I'm like, this might make sense because how long are we going to have AJ Lee for, right? So you give her the title, a few months, let her, have her little hurrah, and Becky gets it back.
Well, this is going to be great now because Becky Lynch is going to probably like go psycho crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? She's going to lose her mind.
Blame everybody but herself.
So that's going to be fun to watch. And overall, for AJ's first full match back, she did a great job. And it's only going to continue to get better. And I like how she's touting that she's going to be a fighting champion, and we're going to see a lot more of AJ, especially on the road to WrestleMania, which is great. You had CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the world title. I mean, there was no way Finn was winning. It was a great match. I like how they shook hands afterwards. Finn Balor's obviously they're setting up Finn Balor, Dirty Dominic, I think, for Mania. Finn is definitely turning face.
I completely agree with that.
I just don't know what you do with JD.
What?
I don't know what you do with JD.
Well, I mean, JD's going to have to pick a side, right?
True. What side does he choose?
I mean, what do you do with him? I guess you keep him on Dom's side in a way because you want more heat on the heels, and if they could double team on him, it's an easier way to get Balor over.
I guess it would make the most sense that JD sticks with Dom and Liv and Raquel for now.
For now. I definitely, I heard the idea. I don't know if you heard that little sidebar that it was said amongst the girls in the Judgment Day. She was telling Raquel, she said, oh, well, maybe you could go for the Intercontinental Championship at Mania. And she was like, oh, I like that. So could that be something? Or are you banking on Becky still facing her AJ at Mania at this point?
I don't think this AJ Becky feud is over. I don't think it ends until Mania.
Okay.
Like Becky's not going to stand by and not get a rematch. That's just my opinion. I think she's somehow gonna get herself in the match at Mania. What's going on, Vince? Welcome, brother. Oh, I don't think Vince could hear us.
Vince, you can hear us?
It looks like he's working on something. So let's go into the men's elimination chamber. I didn't love it. I was expecting more. I don't really know what it was that I didn't love. I mean, obviously there was LA Knight had a mishap, which you can't really recover from. I do like how Logan Paul was made to look like a beast. I wonder if that was one of the changes they had to make now that both Bronsons are out, and he's got to be kind of the lead right now, I guess, of this vision. But the most surprising part and the happiest part for me was everybody went into this saying there's no fucking way that Cody doesn't win. And we got Randy Orton winning Elimination Chamber, which was on nobody's bingo card. Like, I didn't hear anybody saying, I think Randy's going to win. And it's nice to see Randy win and get a main event at WrestleMania. It's been a long time.
Well, keep in mind. Well, I mean, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But how can I not? We're talking about it. He's still in the running for WrestleMania, Mr. Rhodes is. Well,
now, I knew you were going to say that. So now, because of Drew McIntyre's actions, it has now been confirmed that Cody Rhodes will be getting a title shot on Friday against Drew McIntyre. Here's my question, because you still have the Jacob Fatu factor, right? And is this somehow just going to end up being a fatal four-way?
Probably.
Which I'm okay with. I mean, you're talking Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton's going to be pissed. But, I mean, that's your solution.
I mean, does Randy Orton walk out champion?
Who the fuck knows?
You can see that?
Can
you guys hear me okay? Because
yes, sir.
My stuff's not working in my headphones, so I want to make sure the mic was working.
I can hear you.
That's great. So these headphones are probably shot. But anyway, part of me thinks Cody's winning on Friday, and he's going to go in as champion, regardless of whether Randy wins or not. I just feel like they don't feel like the juice they don't have enough juice for this WrestleMania, and a flash title change on a SmackDown leading up to it could, maybe get a little bit more interest in this main event. Because if we're saying it, everybody else is thinking it. Oh, it's a fatal 4-way, it's a 6-pack challenge, it's a whatever.
Well, I don't think Drew necessarily is losing Friday. Like, I could see Jacob getting involved and causing a DQ, and then Randy comes out, and there's a fucking melee, and then now they freak out, and they're like, all right, now it's going to be a fatal 4-way.
Which is probably what's going to happen. But that's the thing. If we're all looking at this as wrestling fans and going, I know exactly what's going to happen, maybe they need to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? I will say this. There could be an added stipulation we don't know about.
Yeah.
But we haven't had a fatal 4-way at Mania for the title in quite a while. So I'm not so upset about the idea. And the reality is, you do have Cody in there. You do have Drew, Jacob. I mean, you can make a case for any of them actually winning. Like, it's not like there will make people question, is Cody really going to win? Or one of the other three going to take it? And all three can make a case. You know what I mean? So I'm not so necessarily disappointed if that is the outcome.
Oh, I'm not disappointed. I'm just saying it's like, obviously injuries impacted one of the other main events. But if there weren't injuries and they didn't have to pivot, we knew what the WrestleMania card was in like fucking October. You know what I mean? Like, we already knew what all the matches were going to be pretty much in October for the main event. And then, of course, most of the division gets injured. So now you've got...
Boy, that curse is real.
Punk and
maybe
Reigns.
Danhausen had something to do with that.
Dude, holy shit. They really CM Punk really was just like, hey, I need 2024 AEW Collision and Rampage on the fucking Raw roster. We're just going to curse people and take their titles away, just like AEW did. And like, okay, we're just going to do the exact same thing. He's got jars of teeth. Like, we're just doing Danhausen over again the same way we did the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes all over again and Jade all over again. You're just ripping off AEW. Come up with something new.
I happen to love the whole Danhausen thing. I just didn't like the debut, and I didn't like the timing. We talked about it a little earlier. I didn't like anything about it at Chamber. But I do like Danhausen, so I think he's funny. I mean, listen, can you imagine some segments with him and R-Truth? I mean, like, there's some great comic relief we're going to get out of it. So,
you know, what's funny is he's only been there for like 2-3 days, and he already has more TV time than Powerhouse Hobbs.
Well, now that was the other thing I did want to talk about too. So my question is this, right? You sign Powerhouse, you have him debut at the Rumble for the shock value with no plans at all to use him after. Like, why did you waste that slot when you had talent in the back you could have put on there for him when you're not ready to use him? And now people forgot about him already. Yeah, they're showing clips of his one-on-one with Stephanie McMahon and this and that, but, like, I don't know. Like, to me, that just... I think that was another thing. Like, they jumped the gun on bringing him up because they had absolutely no plans for him. It's just a waste. And Powerhouse is actually entertaining.
He's great, and I mean, I know...
Let's see Powerhouse and Obafemi. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that would be great. I mean, I agree, though. I think if he's debuting at the Rumble and then you don't have plans for him leading up to WrestleMania, even if it's like the Intercontinental Championship ladder match with 10 dudes in it or something. If you don't have a plan for him, why are we debuting him? It just doesn't make sense to me. And then they go, oh, well, creative has nothing for him. He's just waiting for something. It's like, well, what the fuck? Like, you just signed this guy to a contract so he can sit there and eat their lovely, I'm sure it's delicious, catering.
I'm sure he ain't mad.
Oh, no, he's not mad because he was he did that Dominican baseball player thing. He told everybody he was 25 for the last 10 years. And now it turns out he's like 38 years old. And they're like, oh, we thought we had a new young talent. And we've got El Duque.
I fucking love it. I love it.
I knew you'd love it because you remember El Duque.
Yeah, the funniest part about it is you said a Dominican baseball player, and then you give me an example of a Cuban guy. That's fucking
I know,
great.
but
That's part of the joke, but I love it. You know,
right? But you know what I mean? It's like when you watch those little leaguers with full beards, and they're like, "This guy's 12." You're like, "That guy's not 12."
Right. Yeah, then you like, show me your passport. Then he puts it on a crayon with a piece of paper.
Just see him over at YouTube. So glad that Penta's the new champion because Dominic is cursed. I mean, it's going to be great now to watch Dominic complain, and now he's going to lose to AAA because you know, because he's cursed.
At this point, won't you just put him on a losing streak till he wins Money in the Bank?
Or until Danhausen breaks the curse.
How's that? He will never break the curse. You are cursed. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, usually they're like one-time use curses, or like, you know what I mean. They're pretty short term. I think he can bounce back. You know, Dominic can bounce back from one little curse.
But wouldn't it be awesome if you could use this curse thing and literally curse him all the way to fucking Money in the Bank, and that way people would never think he's winning.
That would be Matt. Go ahead, Steve. Matt, I kind of agree, but they're not going to do it.
Yep, I was going to agree with you, Vince. Matt Pollock over at Facebook. Orton face, Cody heel. I mean, listen, we would all love it, but it ain't happening. Cody is not turning heel. I don't care what anyone says. There's too much money in him being a face. They're just, and you can see by TKO's pricing, they're not going to sacrifice profit right now.
Steve,
so
by the way, if you could, please, when he turns heel, I need you to make a clip of the 2,757 times you have said that same quote you just said now. That there's no way he's going to do it because they're going to lose too much money. Yep. I need that clip. I need it.
I'll get Ryan on it.
But it's one of those things.
But am I wrong?
Yeah.
I think you're wrong.
Go. You got to be kidding me. How am I wrong?
It's going to happen. It's just going to happen.
Right, in like 2 more years. It's not going to happen anytime soon.
But he's not going to not be selling T-shirts still, then to kids and all whatnot. He's still going to be Cody Rhodes. They're not going to just forget about Cody Rhodes right now. Like you said, he's too hot. So eventually, when they do it, it's still going to be a shock, and he's still going to sell hella T-shirts to the 40-year-old virgins that live in their parents' basements.
Who like the heel better than the babyface? Yeah.
Right, 100%.
Ryan, Dom trying to bribe Danhausen would be funny. I'm telling you,
Ryan.
It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be funny. You're going to see. People are going to fall in love with Danhausen.
Because Dominic would give him money and be like, "What's this?" And he's like, "It's money, U.S. dollars." He's like, "I want gold, or I want teeth, or something weird." Like he's going to try and bribe him with something. He's not going to want it.
Well, even like on Raw with his backstage with Pierce, and he has a list of Demandhausens, right? And I want a blimp, I want a personal assistant, I want a camera person, I want to be in the Hall of Fame this year. And then what did he say? And then he said, "Oh, and I want a Triple H poster with the pose pointing, the real famous one, you know." And then Pierce grabs it, says, "Why is it all wet?" And he goes, "Because I dropped it into the toilet." And then he gets introduced. Like, he's great. He's great.
Why is it all moist? Because I dropped it in the toilet.
Just see him. It's obvious. He's hilarious. Jassim, it's obvious right now Obafemi is going to sign with Raw because he's been a free agent for 3 days now. I think he's been a free agent for more like 3 weeks now. And I don't know because now they started a little something with him and Rusev. So maybe he will sign with Raw. But I do like the idea of Rusev Obafemi. The only thing is, I don't see any way that Rusev beats Obafemi.
I still think he crushes him.
But the other thing too is if Brock Lesnar is holding an open challenge, like how is that not Obafemi?
Well, yeah, I
What is
think
Gunther
this
doing for WrestleMania?
Right now, Gunther has no match for WrestleMania.
Is Gunther not going to have a match for WrestleMania?
I mean, do they take this feud with Dragon Lee all the way to Mania? I don't know, or if they start something else.
No.
That's
I mean,
so
listen,
awesome.
their match on Raw was fantastic.
Great. Stay on Raw.
But to me, it's not necessarily a Mania match, so I don't know what their plan is with Gunther right now. Matt Pollock, CM Punk versus Reigns. Who do you think is going to leave with the title, or do you think The Rock might show up, cost Reigns the title, just set a match between Rock and Reigns? Well, there's a lot to break down in that one.
Dude.
Go ahead, Vince. What do you think?
First of all, they don't say things without meaning in these big promos.
Right.
Roman Reigns kept mentioning that, or CM Punk kept mentioning that Roman Reigns was alone and he had nobody to help him. Blah blah blah. I think that's going to come into it. There is no wise man. There is no bloodline as of right now. There's,
Are you saying that you think the bloodline reunites? I mean, listen, especially after what CM Punk just said to Roman about his father.
He just said some nasty shit, and he's a baby. This is the thing I don't like about CM Punk is he takes this I'm a big star, I can say whatever I want thing fucking literally, and he's a big baby face right now. He shouldn't be he's so much better as a heel, and he gets so much better reactions as a heel because he can say stuff like that, but that's so out of character for a babyface character to say.
I agree, but then it's CM Punk, so you're like... It's almost like he gets a pass because it's CM Punk. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I agree with you. It's not a face comment to make, but it's CM Punk.
But he's a babyface leading into Mania? Go ahead, Al.
It's the persona that the same thing for Roman Reigns, right? Like Roman Reigns is a face now, but he still says shit to his cousins like, we're right when you listen to me type of shit.
Right.
He's still him. Which is I just think it's just the era now. Is that Stone Cold?
Right, everybody's kind of in between, whatever.
Right, you're in that gray area. It don't matter, and I thought it was a very, very good. What do you call it? Back and forth between them.
It was a great back and forth, and it shut Roman up and caught him off surprise. In my opinion, Roman won the last time they were face to face on the mic, so it'll keep going. I'm excited for that match. That's going to be good.
Punk said, I'm going to have to carry your shit for 7 weeks. Holy shit.
Yep. And then as far as CM Punk versus Reigns, who wins, as of now, and that could change, but as of now, my gut is telling me CM Punk retains the title.
Oh, see, I was 100% the other way. I'm like, there's no way Roman Reigns loses this match. Like, there's no way.
I mean... Is he going to be around more, or is this going to be another one where Roman wins and then he's comes back every 6 months to defend the title?
Oh, they gave the Intercontinental belt to AJ Lee, and she's wrestled 3 matches in 9 months. So
but since she's won the title, I mean, she just won the belt, so she made an appearance. Now she's gonna next time she's in the ring, she's gonna have a match, an open challenge. So
it
which
could
is
be
probably
a
next week.
Situation where Roman's like, "Hey, if you put the title on me, I'm going to work a regular schedule until Money in the Bank or SummerSlam, and then put somebody over, and then I'll go back to being part-time Roman."
Maybe. I don't know. My gut says CM Punk right now, but again, that could change. I don't know.
I just don't, man. A lot of stuff would have to break in his favor in terms of like interference or like cheating being reversed, or like Roman goes for something, undoes the turnbuckle thing, and then Roman hits the turnbuckle instead of Punk. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to make me think that Roman Reigns isn't losing this match, or Roman Reigns isn't winning this match, and Punk isn't losing, because like Punk can still talk, he can still kind of wrestle, but when you look at like just physically, he's out there in a t-shirt with his Eddie Munster fucking haircut. He looks 70 years old. Like, give him this WrestleMania main event. Roman Reigns wins, and just let this guy go, like, relax. Like, he looks like every bone in his body aches when he's out there. Like, you had a good run, CM Punk. This is it. Like, this should be the whole gunslinger one more time.
That's why I think there's no way he could go over on Roman.
Right.
You know, it's the age factor. Like Roman is our top dog right now. Like, I don't think that be right.
Well, technically, CM Punk is your top dog right now because he's your champion.
You know what I mean.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that's like, is Drew the top guy?
I mean, he is on that brand, technically.
Yeah, but does he feel... Is Drew the top guy? When you look at who you've got over there with Cody and Randy and everybody, Drew is the champion, but he's not the top guy. Punk
No,
is the
Cody
champion,
is your
he's
top
not the
guy.
top guy. You know, that's just what... Like, Punk's close, but I mean, in terms of, like, the guy who's been around for 13 years, who kept the company on his back for 3 or 4 years of a title reign before putting over Cody, like... You're riding the hot hand of CM Punk because he had this big comeback, but your guy that's going to be there, presumably longer than Punk, is Roman Reigns. But then again,
is he though?
His health, you don't know.
Right? Is he though? I don't even think he's going to be there that long. I just think for the fact that Roman Reigns is more of a WWE guy.
Right.
They will not let the guy that left and came back beat their top guy at WrestleMania for a WWE Heavyweight Championship. Like, I just don't see it happening.
But remember who you're talking about. At the end of the day, it's CM Punk. Like, he's a big fucking deal.
And we didn't think they were going to put the belt on Cody. I mean, they almost put it on him right away. It was almost there in one WrestleMania, and they decided.
Yeah, but they knew that they could get so much more out of the chase. You know, and they needed some long-term booking. Jasim over at YouTube, I was surprised when Punk referenced Jericho. Does that mean Jericho is going to show up in WWE really soon? When he said, you just made the list. Listen, everything that I've heard with Jericho, his contract with AEW is frozen because of the time he had taken or something. So he is not free to sign yet with WWE. So I think eventually he will be back. I just don't know when.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his deal is because, like with Danhausen, it was pretty much whatever day his contract expired, which was like Friday or Saturday, he went off the AEW website. He made his appearance on WWE, and then he was on the WWE website. So, like, they usually AEW is very diligent about removing people exactly when their contract expire and not before or not after. So I think he's still employed by them. Whether or not he's coming back, I wouldn't. If I had to put money on it, no. I think Chris Jericho's done with AEW and he's going back to WWE for one more run. Do I know when that's happening? No clue.
Yeah, he's definitely coming back to WWE. It's just a matter of when.
I mean, do we know what he's doing right now? He's off TV, right? He's not on AEW.
He's on tour with Fozzy.
Yeah, Fozzy's touring, yeah.
Got you.
Matt over at Facebook, what's the chance that Rollins is setting up a new Shield team to take out the Vision? I mean, there isn't much of a vision, so I don't think that he needs that. Right. I mean, all these masked men, from what I understand, are just guys from his school that he threw the opportunity, which I thought that was a great segment to clear the ring, to open the show and get Heyman by himself. And Heyman taking a chair shot to the back and then a stomp from Seth Rollins, bloody. I thought that was a great way to open the show. It's always great when you see Paul Heyman going through it. Hey, Addy, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, Addy.
So let's get into Raw, since that was the opening segment. I mean, I guess the question is, what are you going to do with Seth Rollins now? Is it just going to be they're going to do him versus Logan Paul?
Didn't we already do that at WrestleMania? We already did this.
We did that at WrestleMania, but now, well, I guess we're going to rewind it. I mean, what else do you do? There's nobody left in the Vision. You're not going to give it to Austin Theory.
They're not even a Vision anymore. They're a Glare, first of all, because they don't even have enough members.
Right, yeah.
What if Brock Lesnar steps up to be the new leader of the Vision? He's a Heyman guy still. Heyman still comes out with him and shit, so why not put Brock in there?
Yeah, but he's not going to be involved with Logan's match because he's got his open challenge. He can still be part of the Vision. Right, but now you got me thinking, because Heyman got loaded into the ambulance, and then tell me if the sequence is correct. They put Heyman in the ambulance. Jey Uso beats the crap out of Austin Theory, and then he walks over to the ambulance, and the driver is revealed to be LA Knight.
Jimmy is the one that beat him. Jay was out. It was Jimmy, and then LA Knight was driving the ambulance. So we don't know where Paul Heyman ended up. And they never really followed up on that either throughout the show. So
what if this ends up with Austin Theory and Logan Paul against Seth Rollins and LA Knight in a tag team match?
Yeah.
Right? But like, otherwise, why is LA Knight involved with this fucking Paul Heyman thing? I know they had beef with like the Vision, but like, I just feel like his feud was with somebody in the Vision who's now injured. So what do you do?
Well, so maybe the tag team match. Wait, are the Usos still tag team champions?
Yeah.
Oh, it could be a three-way tag team championship match. Because Jimmy was involved in the segment too. I really don't know. The one thing that was stone is that because of all the injuries, this whole Seth Rollins Vision universe.
Well, it's like Jey Uso wasn't supposed to win that match, and then Bronson got hurt, and they had to.
And Bronson Reed was supposed to get all those eliminations, not Logan Paul.
Right.
That's why the match didn't. You're like, wow, Logan Paul's a fucking badass, and it's like, no, it was supposed to be for the biggest guy in the ring, Bronson Reed, get 3 or 4 eliminations and then get upset.
But it's a good way to, get people to take Logan Paul seriously.
Oh, I didn't. Once they were like, oh, that's 3 in a row for Logan Paul, I'm like, holy shit, they're giving this kid some offense. Okay.
Yeah, he looked real good.
I mean, he's there. He's a guy, like, he's signed. He's not a fucking he's not a celebrity that comes in once every year or two and wrestles a fucking goofy hardcore match or something. Like, he's there. So I mean,
yeah, he's one of the guys now.
Make him if he's gonna be there, make him credible. And as much as I don't personally care for him, he's good at what he does, and if he's gonna be there for a couple of years, I can't imagine that there's not a point where he doesn't win that world title. Not right now, but I mean, he's a guy that you'd think Logan Paul being on the roster, somewhere in their brains they go, he's got to win a world championship so we can say this thing when we look back. Oh, Logan Paul was world champion.
Right. Well, Addie thinks Logan Paul sucks. She's not going to lie.
I agree with Addie. 100%. You're right, Addie.
$16 million richer.
That's because he does his job real good. That's why we think he sucks.
That's right.
I hate his guts, but he's a great wrestler.
Jassim, LA Knight, they need to book him as a champion and stop using him on TV as a sideshow comedian.
They won't.
I mean, dude, I think at this point, give it up. I don't think it's happening for LA Knight.
He's 52. Over. It's done. He's not actually 52, but
I don't know. I just, I don't see it happening. They just got too many other things. Like, now with all these other players coming up between Trick Williams and Obafemi and all this, like...
Yeah, dude.
That ship has sailed, I think, for LA Knight. Original El Grande Americano versus Rayo. I mean, it's always entertaining. You know what I really liked about last night? That cinematic promo they did with Liv.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
see that?
Yeah, they're doing. I'm glad they're doing something different with that. You know
But
what I
it
mean?
was such a great promo. She looked psychotic. Like everything about it was great. I really enjoyed that.
And they did a promo like that in AEW for the Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd, who were guys that came over from New Japan, and they did like a cinematic. It almost looked like a Quentin Tarantino trailer. They filmed it with like that really old style film. You could see like the dust and the crackles in the film, and the colors were all kind of washed out like 1960s, 1970s film. And I'm all for it. You know, anything like that where they can take a promo and not just have it be backstage in a locker room, backstage with an interviewer or a bunch, behind, there's a bunch of TVs behind you and whatever. Like if you can take it out of the arena or like make it more creative, like going back to Mr. Perfect, doing all those sports and stuff. That's I love shit like that. So the more they do outside of the ring, outside of the arena promos, the better.
Yeah, I agree. I love all those vignettes. Even how they used to do that when they were promoting like a new star coming. Like Scott Hall when they were doing the whole Razor Ramon thing. Like it was awesome. Just the build and the way they did it all. Jasim Danhausen versus Truth needs to happen. They both funny, hilarious. This match just needs to happen. I mean, listen, you got a chance that it's going to happen. I don't know when, but
Yeah, I don't know when, but they'll run into each other. Like we already know Danhausen is going to be in a tag team with Mr. Iguana at one point. It's just we know the stuff that he's going to have to do. He'll run into Aleister Black, and they'll have a serious spooky guy against funny spooky guy thing. Like we know the beats that are going to play.
right. Matt, what role is John Cena taking on since retired from wrestling but still part of the family? I think at this point he's not really doing anything. Maybe he's an ambassador, but he's doing the movie thing. He's but I don't think he's doing much with WWE at this point. I'm sure he'll do stuff, but like I don't think you're going to see him like full time at the Performance Center training kids and stuff.
No.
He's doing the movie thing, the TV show thing. Tara has a question: was there a Latino El Grande Americano before Chad Gable, or am I remembering wrong? As far as I remember, it was always Chad Gable.
Right, it was Chad, and then he got injured, and then it was what's his face, and then they just decided that a whole bunch of other people would also be Grandes as well. Yeah,
right. So love the promo with Liv, and then you had Rusev calling out Obafemi. I mean, I thought that was great. I just wish a ref ran down and they just did a match.
right.
It was too short for me.
Well, they'll have a match. I don't think it'll be WrestleMania.
No.
I think this is and I agree with Al. It's a tune-up for WrestleMania, to get you excited about what this guy can do. It would be in their best interest to have Obafemi go out there and just beat the shit out of Rusev, because Rusev never gets beat like that. And if he beats him in 2 minutes, it'll do more for him than a competitive match against Rusev.
And that's another guy, man. His aura is insane. Like people, like he's good. I like that whole. I'm getting used to that whole this marching down. At the beginning, I didn't like the marching much, but it grew on me. And he's just a powerhouse in the ring, man. He's different. He's a big guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's no downside to him right now, unless he secretly murders puppies or something. He's going to be a big, part of this landscape for a while. I don't know how old or young he is, but he looks like a pretty young guy. I don't think Javon's obviously the youngest of the call-ups, but he's still a young enough guy where they can have him around
How old is
for a
Trick?
while.
How old is Trick?
That's a good question.
I think he's in his late 20s, isn't he?
Let's see. Trick Williams is 31, born in 1994.
Yo, that's crazy to hear somebody born in 1994 is 31 years old, by the way.
Yo, how about
Isn't that
this?
crazy?
Javon Evans is 21, going to be 22 in April, born in 2004.
Jesus Christ.
And our guy Obafemi will be 28 in April. He was born in 1998.
God damn.
So you got Obafemi. I got you for 10 years. Oh yeah, at least.
Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory. I mean, okay.
The second best Uso against the worst guy in the division. Yeah.
But it did get Jimmy to be there, and he came, or Jay, and he came out. But whatever. And then the highlight of the night, Penta beats Dominic for the championship.
Actually crazy.
Penta, that was awesome. It was such a good match. Like, Dom is great. And I'm happy for Penta. His first title in the WWE. And it was a great match. And it's obviously setting up for the split in Judgment Day, for sure.
Yeah, there's a couple things that they had to get out of the way for Dom to do what I think he's going to do in the next few months. They needed to get the Intercontinental title off of him. They need to get him away from the Judgment Day vortex that's been swallowing him for the last 3 years plus. And then he's going to win the Money in the Bank. I'm sticking by it. This is a prediction we've been talking about for a long time.
Yeah.
Since maybe last year's Money in the Bank. Dominic wins it this year. If I went on to DraftKings,
It should be Dominic on the men's, and it should be Chelsea Green on the women's.
Yes.
That would be so nice that I would assume a bunch of people got fired backstage and they hired a whole new writing team. Like, if that actually happened, I'd be like, oh, Triple H clean house.
Love Chelsea. Did you hear Taker's comments about Chelsea to Michael Hayes? I mean, that's big coming from Undertaker. And then at the end he goes, if they don't want to use her right, I know a company down south that would probably use her to her full potential.
I mean, seeing how well El Grande Americano got over in Mexico, having the president, Chelsea Green, and the secret Hervis down in Mexico would absolutely work. Absolutely.
She's amazing. And then you talk about Aura. Our tribal chief returned, graced us with his presence. And before he can really say anything after getting the crowd to acknowledge him, CM Punk comes out. They have their promo battle, and it ends with CM Punk saying what he said about Roman's father. So, I mean, listen, it got the job done. It took the breath out of the air in the arena. It gave you that oh shit moment. And it's getting this feud even hotter. I'm excited for this match.
I'm interested because, like, that's the only match that's, like, holding this, like, as weird as it is to say, because it's CM Punk, who you think is about 13 years past his expiration date, and Roman Reigns, who's a part-timer. This match is what they're building WrestleMania on. What the fuck else is happening on WrestleMania? There's 2 nights, and I couldn't tell you how we're going to fucking fill them. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's this, like, on paper, and maybe this will be an opportunity for people to surprise you and overcome an expectation. On paper, seems like a weak WrestleMania compared to last year and the year before.
As of this very moment, right? We got Roman versus Punk. That's a done deal.
Right.
We've got probably, let's say, official, I guess. We have, what else is official? There's another, we have Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv.
Oh, right.
And we have Rhea versus Jade. So we know those matches. So you got more coming. I mean, we still have time. We're going to see matches. Oba's going to get booked in a match for sure. Brock has his open challenge. You got to figure the tag titles, the ICs, the United all have to get booked, right? So
keep in mind, they all don't. Do they all always make it to the show now? all titles make it to the show? They all get defended in the show, or hasn't there been some years they don't defend them?
I mean, yes and no. I feel like since they started doing 2 nights, they kind of do.
Right.
Like maybe with the exception of maybe like 1. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
But now they
Yeah,
got 2 whole nights to fill.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
officially, Randy Orton's going to WrestleMania. We just don't know.
Right, and we know we're getting Orton in the main event.
Right.
At,
know we got
somewhere. So, I mean, you know, on paper right now, these are matches that I'm kind of excited for. The nice thing is that there's still so much more that we don't know. So at least it keeps it, you know, and maybe they'll surprise us. You know, but I think it's going to be better than people expect. Again, my whole thing, like I've been saying for months, is I don't think the lack of ticket sales has anything to do with the card right now. I think it solely has to do with the pricing and the fact that you're doing it in Vegas again. I stick to that.
They should have learned their lesson, but they won't, because they did WrestleMania back to back at the Trump Taj Mahal, 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And 5 drew okay and 6 didn't. And the car, I think 6 was probably worse. It might have been a worse show if my memory serves. But yeah, doing it back to back in the same location. Even like, I thought it was weird that they did WrestleMania 30 and 34 and then WrestleMania 31. Like WrestleMania 31 and 38 in Dallas is better.
Yeah, but
like
Vince,
30 and 34 both in New Orleans was like, that was even close together.
but you know what though? Even if they did it 2 years in a row in New York or Philly or Orlando or Connecticut or wherever, I don't think it would bother me as much as it does Vegas, because Vegas is such a big commitment.
Right.
And how many locals are realistically going to the show? You get mostly people that are traveling and flying in, right? But there's a massive cost, not only now to the tickets, but your hotel stay, your food, what you're going to do in between. If you're bringing kids, you got to keep them entertained. It's not the most family-friendly place in the world, right? But if you go to the other places, you know, there's shit to do, and you're going to get a lot of locals. Like you do it in New York, you're going to get people that drive in from Philly and Connecticut and Massachusetts and, you know, Baltimore, you know, you go on and on. So, and then you'll still get people that'll fly in and do the whole New York experience, Philly experience, whatever. So I think Vegas has a big part of it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there was a lot to do with it. And they already had kind of pre-announced that it was going to be New Orleans, and then they pulled it back. So I'm sure some people who live in that area were like, well, I'm not going to Las Vegas. People who are planning, like I haven't gone to a WrestleMania since before the pandemic, and if it was in New Orleans, I'd at least think about it, because I like going to New Orleans. It's a nice destination. It's a destination I enjoy going to. Yeah, dude, it's
yeah, but now you got to think about how much more expensive
and it's
that
2
one
nights.
trip
Yeah,
is
the
going
whole
to be.
thing is a bust, really. I should just go to New Orleans to go to New Orleans. Fuck WrestleMania.
Well, right. You know, at this point, like, I mean, listen, for somebody that's been to so many of these live, and it is an experience. It's almost better to watch it at home these days, just because, it really, you're talking thousands upon thousands to do it right.
Yes.
It's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars. And, in this economy, it's tough. People are struggling financially. And, I mean, how many people, there's a lot of diehard wrestling fans that'll take their entire tax return and they'll use it to WrestleMania.
100%.
God bless them. But there's people that, realistically can't do that. Matt Pollock, does WWE need a true generational handoff in 26? No Roman, no Brock safety net to genuinely change the product roster-wise? Is WWE ready for 26 to fully pass the torch roster-wise, or will they still rely on the old guard when it matters? That's a great fucking question. Vince, you want to take that one?
My general thought is it's not happening this year. Do they need it? Yes. Cody said the last contract he signs, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 7, whatever he's signing, he says it's his last contract. Randy Orton's retiring. Brock Lesnar's retiring. Roman Reigns is part-time. LA Knight is in his 40s.
Becky Lynch hinted at something.
What's that?
Becky Lynch has
Becky
hinted.
Lynch is going to retire, which means Seth Rollins probably isn't far behind. I don't think it's happening in 2026, but I think we already see that the plan is set for next year. I think you're going to see guys like Javon, Trick, and Oba in main events for pay-per-views or whatever we call them now, PLEs, throughout 2026, building
Agreed.
to one of those guys winning a big title in 27 at WrestleMania. And it probably is going to be Obafemi. But I think, not dark horse, because he's still one of the popular guys. Obafemi, I think, is a lock to win a title. And I think Trick Williams, whether it's IC or whether it's one of the other world titles, is winning a title at WrestleMania next year too. But it's not going to be this year. I don't think it's all this stuff I'm talking about is going to be 2027.
You can't
Let's-
see. So, question: what are we doing with Penta now? I know I'm throwing a curveball here because I'm thinking you can't see like Trick Williams going up against Penta at WrestleMania taking the title. I could definitely
Maybe,
see
but aren't
Trick
they
Williams.
on different shows? They're on separate brands.
They are.
Isn't Trick on SmackDown and Penta's on Raw? Isn't that how that breaks down?
I think you're right.
It could
Yeah.
be. Never mind.
I don't. You're either going to do Dominic versus Penta rematch at Mania, or you're going to get that out of the way, and then you're still going to do Dominic versus Finn. Like, there's still so many questions. There's different ways to go. I think it's too early to really tell what they're going to do with Penta going forward now because he just won the belt. So it's going to be interesting to see. But let's be real. Does WWE even know who the future main eventers are, or are they still hiding behind the same stars that they relied on for a decade? Well, I do think that they know that they have stars in Javon Evans and Obafemi and Trick Williams. You got other stars in NXT like Jada Parker.
You got Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown.
Carmelo Hayes, Ricky Starks. You have all these guys.
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page. They know what they got. But you got the old guards such as Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton that can still get it done. So can CM Punk. So can Cody Rhodes. So you got to let them go as long as they can,
Right, and
or
this
they're
is
willing
where-
to anyway.
Right, and this is where being a bigger company that makes hundreds of millions of billions of dollars, whatever it is different than a company like AEW, which still
Right.
takes in a lot of money, but they can play around a little more in AEW. And you've seen the last couple of years where they really did transition out of guys like Jericho being the world champion, and Moxley was the world champion, but that was to put over Hangman, and you've got Hangman, Swerve, MJF, Andrade, Will Ospreay when he comes back. You've got a lot of younger guys, newer guys in the main event scene that AEW has been quietly building towards this main event opportunity over the last year or two. And AEW can do that because they don't have TKO and UFC and stockholders and everything else to speak to about, like, well, why did you turn this guy heel? His t-shirt sales went down. They can just do it. You know what I mean? Like in WWE, realistically, you're going, all right, so if we don't book Brock Lesnar or we knock him down the card and we elevate Javon Evans or Trick Williams, what does that do for us financially? Is Trick Williams in the main event going to sell more tickets than Brock Lesnar or more t-shirts than Brock Lesnar? At this point, probably not. So, like, you still have to build these guys up, but they're not. There's always going to be that tier. There's going to be the Cody, Brock, Randy tier for 4 years maybe, and then
Right.
by the time 2030 comes around, none of these guys are going to be wrestling anymore, and it's going to be Trick, Oba, Carmelo, Javon, guys like you said, Ethan and Ricky if they're still around, fucking Pillman Jr. if he gets better, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the top of the hour. Acknowledge your tribal chief. Vinnie Mac, take us home.
Yeah, all right. We'll talk about this Jade Rhea thing next week because I want to dive into that, and I'm not going to spend 10 minutes talking about it now. I think we got to, and we'll have more because at first it seemed like it was a shoot, and then it seemed like it was a work, and then it seemed like it was a work shoot. We'll know more for Friday. So that's a little tease for next week. We're going to have hopefully a better picture of the WrestleMania card as we move towards, 7 weeks away, the road to WrestleMania. And we'll be here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. on Eastern Time to talk about it with you and discuss all the happenings in pro wrestling. The War Report After Dark, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are changing clocks in a couple weeks. I'll keep you updated. But wherever you're at, stay there. Go back to that page next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're on YouTube, You go to type Tag Me a Date in YouTube search. You hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when we go live. If you're on Facebook, type Tag Me a Date in the search bar. Follow our page, and the live stream will show up in your news feed. And if you're on social media, follow us at Tag Me a Date on Instagram, Twitter /X, and a couple other places. If you're following us on TikTok, you search for The War Report Podcast, and you'll see our account come up. Hit the follow button. On social media, we post shorts and reels, little clips of what we talked about leading up to next week's show, in case you missed anything. And you can also subscribe to the audio podcast instead of the video version. You can go to iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcast. I think it's Apple Podcast instead of iTunes now. Whatever you want. Type in The War Report. Type in Tag Me a Date. You'll see our logo that's in the top right corner. You'll see the description. It mentions Steve, Vince, etc., all of our names. And if you hit subscribe, Steve and Ryan will grab the audio between Wednesday and Thursday, or excuse me, between Tuesday and Wednesday, and upload it to the audio thing so you can take it with you. And with that being said, we'll be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for another edition of The War Report After Dark. Leave a like on your way out. Thank you, Tara, Matt, Jacine, Patty, Ryan, and everybody else that commented tonight. We'll be back 9 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday, The War Report After Dark. Have a great day.